startups really gained momentum since almost 2014. Of course, every company which begins afresh can be termed as a startup, but there was a wave of startups that began in 2014, and that momentum is still continuing. So, when the momentum is very high on the part of startups, when the investment commitments are very high on the part of startups, and when the youth of India is looking at startups, that's where the real professional action is also supposed to be. That's where even professionals like CMAs needs to be busy around the startups in various, I mean to say, responsibilities. So what are all those responsibilities and what are all these startups? How is this space? What is the landscape? Are the things that we are going to deal with today. Apart from that, just to begin with, a business startup actually refers to the process of starting a new business or a venture. It involves creating and launching a new company, typically with a unique product or a service or a business model. Startups are often characterized by their interactive ideas, innovative ideas, high growth potential, and the pursuit of market disruption. They generally have limited resources and may face significant risks and uncertainties early on. Startups typically require a great deal of planning, market research, funding, and strategic decision making to successfully establish themselves in the competitive markets. I request the participants to mute their mic, please.
अभी हम देखेंगे एक साल यहाँ पे करके इसके बाद
I request the participants to
लेटर आ गया है वहाँ पे हमको
Ajay Mohan, can you mute your mic, please? Yeah, thank you. And there is some noise coming in from somebody. They can also look at their mic and mute it, please, because it causes distraction to speak. Yeah. Now, having looked at what's really a startup is, now let's look at the play that a professional like a CMA has to play and the role that a person like a CMA has in startups is what gains the importance. A CMA is supposed to be all in all, and he is supposed to interact with founders and entrepreneurs in their innovative ideas and provide valuable suggestions. And a CMA is supposed to again interact with industry experts and bring that professional expertise in terms of commercialization and bridge the gap with the promoters by suggesting them the right paths and the right ways. And then uh, CMAs have to act as business advisors, mentors, and even CMAs can provide legal and financial advisory. And then they may also participate in marketing and sales planning with the promoters while helping the promoters in HR and talent acquisition. So overall, professionally, CMAs have a greater role to play. Now, this is the preamble. With that, now let's get into the presentation. Yeah, I think you all are able to see my PPT. Admin, is the PPT clear? Admin, is the PPT clear? Hello, admin.
Hello, sir. Yeah.
Is the PPT visible? Clear? Hello.
So your first page is visible.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't yet started. I'm just asking you whether the PPT is visible. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, thank you. Now let's get to the agenda. The agenda of today is like this. I have divided the entire presentation and discussion into 5 parts. The first part of my presentation, which will be of around 4 slides, will be dealing with CMAs and about startups in general. And the second part deals, which again is of 5 slides, deals with things needed to start a business. Okay, it deals overall the things that are needed to start a business. And the third part of my presentation deals with benefits to startups by Indian government in about 5 slides again. And as a part of my fourth division of my presentation, I will be dealing with startups in 2023, failures and successes, along with the landscape. And then at the end, I will be dealing with CMAs and business startups in about 5 slides. So total 31 slides. Till intermission at about 6 o'clock, we will be dealing with about 15 slides. After the intermission, we will be dealing with 15 slides. That is how the agenda has been structured. Yeah. Now, Bhanwarlal ji, can you please mute your mic, please?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, please. Thanks. Yeah. Now, CMAs. CMA stands for, Mr. Bhanwarlal, can you please mute your mic?
Yes, I am doing.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, CMAs. CMAs stand for Certified Management Accountants in general across the world. But in India, it is Cost and Management Accountant. Okay. CMAs are professionals who hold a globally recognized certification in management accounting. They are experts in financial management, strategic planning, analysis, and decision making within organizations. This may not be the strength factor with CAs, but this is certainly the strength factor with CMAs. That is financial management, strategic planning, analysis, and decision making within organizations. Okay. CMAs are distinguished by their comprehensive knowledge in financial accounting, managerial accounting, financial analysis, and other areas related to business management. They possess a deep understanding of financial data, cost management, risk assessment, budgeting, and performance evaluation. In fact, a financial accountant may have a financial statement related knowledge, but he may not be having management accounting knowledge. That's the edge that CMAs will be having. CMAs will be having equal exposure to financial accounting as well as managerial accounting, which includes cost accounting too. So to become a CMA, individuals must meet certain education and experience requirements, pass a rigorous examination, and adhere to professional code of ethics. CMAs are expected to engage in continuous professional development to stay up to date with evolving industry best practices and trends. The CMA designation worldwide is conferred by professional organizations such as the Institute of Cost Accountants, IMA, Institute of Management Accountants, IMA in the United States, the Society of Management Accountants of Canada, SMAC, from Canada, and Institute of Certified Management Accountants of Australia, New Zealand, CMA, Australia, and then Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, UK, and Institute of Cost Accountants of India, ICAI, India. These institutions give the designation of CMA. Okay, CMA typically works in various industries, including Ashish ji, can you please mute your mic? Ashish Mehta, can you please mute your mic? CMAs typically work in various industries, including finance, manufacturing, services, consulting, and government, where they play crucial roles in financial planning, analysis, and decision support. This is what the preamble I am giving you about CMAs as a whole at the larger level, I mean to say at the holistic international level. Okay. And then about startups. Now, having seen about CMAs, now let's look at about the startups. To assist those who want to launch their own businesses, Startup India is a groundbreaking initiative by Narendra Modi government in 2014. The government supports these people in order to ensure that they can carry out their ideas and develop since they are capable and have ideas. India's economy would gradually improve and it will become a stronger country if this Startup India program is successful. The national and state governments of India are also keenly interested in assisting emerging startup ecosystems. Even though they are small businesses, Mr. 6405 guest, can you please mute your mic? Admin, today there is a lot of disturbance because a lot of guys have kept their mics open. 6405, can you please mute your mic? Admin, can you please lock their mic if you can?
Yes, sir.
6405 guy has kept his mic open. It is creating disturbance. 6405. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It causes disturbance, friends. You all are professionals. You need to understand that with a lot of pains, we create this presentation. And through electronic mode, we are trying to impact this to you all. And when you open your mics, when you keep your mics open, remember your background noise makes us distorted in terms of the ideas. And we get disturbed to speak here because speaking is also an art. Speaking cannot come amid the disturbances coming from various sources. So please bear in mind that you need to mute your mics till the end of the presentation. And when Q&A session starts, you can open your mics and ask me any kind of questions. Okay? Hope you will adhere with that advice. And now, coming back to friends, to get the momentum again back, India's economy would gradually improve and it will become a stronger country if the Startup India program started by Indian government is successful. The national and state governments of India are also keenly interested in assisting emerging startup ecosystems. Even though they are small businesses, startups can have big impact on economic expansion. Startups serve as hubs for innovation. They generate jobs which boost employment and contribute to an improved economy, and they directly influence the cities in which they settle. Consider how Alibaba affected Hangzhou in China, how Microsoft changed Redmond in USA, like how Google changed Mountain View in America, California, that is to say America, and how Infosys changed Bangalore. So one good startup will change the entire care of address of a particular city, basically, though through the provision of job chances to both seasoned and novice experts, they enhance employment patterns. This resulted in an increase in the number of recent graduates and the relocation of seasoned experts from various places. Remember, friends, 15 years back, many South Indians used to migrate to Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta kind of places for opportunities. Today, the migration from South India has come to a standstill, decrease, because South itself is creating a lot of opportunities, particularly the hubs of Bangalore, Trivandrum, Chennai, and Hyderabad. So now we are seeing a reverse migration in the sense that people from the northern side, western side, eastern side are trying to go south for any kind of employment opportunities. All this has happened because of technological revolution, and in that revolution, many startups really made it so big that today they have become the hubs of employment generation, and that's where we are finding a greater amount of opportunities opened up for youngsters and the people of the people who are all in what you call action mode at this point of time. Okay, thanks to startups, the dynamism gap between the nation's main cities and the rest of the country is closing because of the startups. These companies generate new industries and use cutting edge technologies to strengthen the economy. When these firms go public, they actually start turning a profit for the owners, employees, and shareholders. Startups additionally aid in reaffirming the nation's image. So this is what about startups. So now, though all of you as professionals may be aware of what are all the things needed to start a business, but as a part of the flow of my presentation, I wanted to present you also on the part of things needed to start a business, because one person may not be having a holistic view. That's the reason we as CMAs need to have a complete holistic view to aid and assist the startups. So we should know the process and the things that are needed to start a business. In India, the number of startups and entrepreneurs is rising. The Indian government also offers a plethora of advantages to support and foster companies. But starting your own firm is a labor-intensive process. Having a business idea, obtaining the necessary licenses, and promoting the venture are all necessary to launch a company. Basically, the following items are necessary to launch a new company in India. One, possess a business concept. First of all, to start a business, you need to have a business concept. Selecting the type of business to launch is the first stage in the startup process. You must have an original business concept. Select a business that interests and inspires you, but first do some research on the market and rivals, as well as the idea that you got, and then ascertain the demographics that your business products or services may appeal to. They are the people you want to target with your business under the Made in India campaign. Entrepreneurs can find number of opportunities in India in the hospitality, manufacturing, tourist, and agricultural sectors. So first you need to form up, friends, the business concept, and then you need to make a business strategy. You need to draft a business strategy that includes financial projections, timetables, and important business milestones. It serves you as your company's blueprint. The mission statement and company values that direct you through challenging projects or periods of growth in your firm should be outlined in the business plan. So, having had a business concept, then you need to put it in writing in terms of a business strategy. Okay. And now coming to next slide is the following are some of the crucial elements of a business plan. That is description of the company, synopsis for the executive or executive summary, products and services offered, analysis of market, process of implementation and business plan, group leadership, plans and estimates for finances. So your business plan should contain all these heads, and it should provide comprehensive information to act as a guiding light for you. And then you should think of the funding sources, because funding is necessary for every business. Entrepreneurs may use their savings or money borrowed from friends and family to launch their businesses. Small enterprises typically raise their own funding, but you can also get the money you need to start and operate your business from the several sources which I have listed below. One, business can obtain working capital and term loans from banks. Numerous banks have launched a range of business credit programs. And then when an entrepreneur buys shares in a cooperative society or a cooperative bank, majority of those cooperative banks lend money to small enterprises, and companies can use crowdsourcing to raise money. Getting investments from friends, family, neighbors, the neighborhood, or the broader public in exchange for company stock is known as crowdsourcing. Companies looking to raise money might reach out to angel and venture capitalists. They provide excellent financial options for new and small enterprises. So you need to actually shortlist from which are all the sources that you want to raise funds for your proposed business. After finalizing your business concept, after preparing your business plan, then you need to narrow down on the part of the monies required and how you want to bring those monies. Either a part of that can come from your own sources, but a part of that may also come from banks or financial institutions or venture capitalists or our neighborhood guys or through crowdsourcing. Okay. And then once you have everything, you will also be starting your all activities with a company name. Yeah. You must choose a name for your business or organization. A company of firm's name in India shouldn't seem too similar to one that already exists. The register of companies will deny your application for business registration if the name of the firm is identical to an already registered company name or trademark. Therefore, choosing a legally suitable name for your firm is very crucial. Before choosing a name, you must perform a name search. You can use the name search to find out whether there is already a firm using a name that is similar to the one you want to use for your venture or not. You must come up with a new name for your business if one already exists under the same name, as it must be distinctive. It is also simple to register a unique name that differs from existing company names. So while choosing the company name, you should be very, very cautious, because if your company sounds like that of anybody else's company, one, that may infringe into their rights, and secondly, there will be a conflict in the sense that for the end consumers, they may find it difficult to recognize from which house, from which company the products are coming from, because they will not be having clarity on the part of the name. Okay, that's the reason you should have a distinctive name to represent your business that should differ from the existing company names. And then you also need to work out on the shortlisting of office of business for your activity.
Sir, you are mute.
Yeah, now is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Uh, while choosing office business, you need to purchase or rent an office space. There are a number of things to take into account while choosing the office. Your company's location should be close to major thoroughfares so that clients can easily find it on their travels. However, since they accept direct ordering and offer a variety of payment options, e-commerce stores are the best option if you want to launch an online business. So in today's business model, you have both online deliveries, online business model, offline business model. If you are in an offline business model, you should be nearer to the customer, accessible to the customer, and proximity to the customer is important. And also logistics wise, customers should be in a position to access your address. But if you are in an online business, it doesn't matter because delivery is going to be through e-commerce stores, and that is going to be delivered through supply chain mechanism, okay, delivery mechanism, supply delivery mechanism. So then after setting up office according to your business needs, then business registration is also very important. After deciding on the business name and office location, you need to register your business for it to be legally recognized. You can choose any one of the following business structures for establishing your business. You can form a sole proprietorship, you can form a partnership form, or you can form a limited liability partnership, that is LLP, or you can form one person company, OPC, or a private limited company or a public limited company. There is a vast universe of the kind of companies that you can start. Every company has its every kind of what we call formation has its own positives and negatives. So you need to weigh the positives versus negatives in terms of tax liabilities, in terms of the limited liabilities, in terms of what you call the guarantees that you need to give, in terms of the assets, and everything what you can account for in each structure differs, and each structure also has to be seen from the economies of scale of its operation also. So given that, by weighing various pros and cons, you need to look at a particular corporate structure which suits your needs. And then firms that are sole proprietorship or partnership lack a distinct legal identity from their owners or partners and are subjected to unlimited liability. Nonetheless, as compared to other forms of corporate formations, they require fewer compliances and have a lower registration fee. Members of private and public companies, LLPs, and OPCs are recognized as distinct legal entities with limited responsibility. It is simple to raise money since investors like to put their money into LLPs or corporations. They do, however, have a lot of compliances to follow, and each compliance has its own cost too. Okay, and then friends, while while starting a startup business, you need to obtain necessary clearances. Businesses must also secure municipal or civic authority clearances, power and water connection clearances, the Shop and Establishment Act registration, and any other special licenses that may be required based on the type of business, such as GST registration, FSSAI license, trade license, etc. And then friends, nowadays, in this era of business, an entity should possess a web page, a business's website listing its goods and services, and encourage customers to visit the site, learn more about it, and purchase goods or services. Having a website for your business helps you attract more consumers because many people prefer to shop and use services online. Having a well-maintained professional website and email address will facilitate prompt communication with customers. So then friends, you need to look at the marketing strategies for the startup businesses. Once your company is registered, marketing is very essential to attract clients. Ultimately, the revenue, the bread, butter for all the efforts, for all that we endeavor for, will have to come through marketing efforts only. If we don't market our services, if we don't market our products, goods, then how do we get revenue? Ultimately, it is the revenue which drives these companies. If you just open a posh shop, if you just open a posh theater, if you just open a posh stores, it's not going to provide us revenue. Ultimately, those products available in those places needs to be marketed. And for that, one needs to have a right market strategy. And that's where there are goods which can be advertised. There are goods which don't need advertising. So you need to discriminate again what to advertise, what not to advertise. And again, To advertise the goods and services offered by your company, you must develop marketing tactics. Reaching potential clients is quickest when you promote your business online. Establishing company accounts on social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube can help you expand your brand and reach a wider audience in addition to having a website. Today, social media is a part of our life, friends. Social media is a part of our marketing tactics, my friends. Today, we cannot avoid social media. Social media has its negative impacts too, but barring those negative impacts, when we go with single-minded motive of business, we can expand our business through Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and other social media sites. So on your company's social media pages, you can post pertinent images and additional details along with videos showcasing your goods and services. Additionally, you can advertise your company via conventional media such as local radio like FM, All India Radio, whatever it is, and then newspapers and brochures. Okay. And once you do this, once you finalize a marketing strategy, then for the monies when they start coming in or for the payments that you need to make, you need to have a bank account. For that, you need to open a bank account. Having a bank account in your company's name is crucial since it prevents you from combining commercial and personal transactions. All business transactions must be made through the business bank account, but you must take into account a number of factors before deciding on a bank to create an account, including the availability of free checks, bank overdraft protection, loan options, letter of credit capabilities, etc. If you want to open a current account in the name of your company, many banks will come in queue and they will open a current account because they all want float balance, free balance without any interest obligation in their branches. But you as a businessman needs to look at the kind of costs involved in the accounts and bank account management. For that, you need to look at how many free checks the bank is willing to give if you open the bank account. And also, you may need a temporary bank overdrafts because you may not be having surplus monies all throughout the time. So you should bargain with the bank while opening the account that they should provide you bank overdraft protection. And also, you should also negotiate for loan options and letter of credit facilities, etc. So while opening the bank account, you need to take that due care. Okay, and then for startups, friends, there are lot many benefits which are offered by Indian government. What are all they? Because when the startup revolution started in 2014, Indian government started giving a lot of benefits. So let's have a glance at them to understand most. To understand most of them actually. The government of India and the Ministry of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises have launched more than 21 schemes to empower startups and MSMEs in India. List of 21 government schemes to promote entrepreneurship in India that are specially for startups or entrepreneurs who are all looking to get help from these schemes can be obtained from the URL that I have given in the presentation. That is https digest.myhq.in top 10 government schemes for startups in India. It's a very big presentation in the sense it's a very big write-up. So I don't want to copy that and read that in front of you all. That's the reason you can note down that URL and you can go through that. You will understand what are all the various schemes government is providing for the startups or entrepreneurs that you will be knowing very easily. However, as per the government, eligibility for registration under Startup India, under the Startup India Action Plan, the following conditions must be fulfilled in order to be eligible as a startup for any kind of facilities or benefits that the government provides. What are all they? You need to be falling in the criteria that the government has given. That is, being incorporated or registered in India up to 10 years from your date of incorporation. So from the date of the incorporation of your company up to 10 years of your operations, you can claim yourself as a startup and try for the benefits that the government provides. Okay. And you can be a private limited company or registered as a partnership firm or a limited liability partnership. Mind you, you cannot be a sole proprietorship to get the government benefits. You have to be a registered entity. You can be a private limited company, public limited company, or a registered partnership firm or a limited liability partnership firm. Remember, so a registered entity is essential for availing the government benefits. And again, you can have an annual turnover not exceeding 100 crore for any of the financial years since incorporation registration. That is to say, for you to be qualified as a startup to avail the government benefits, your turnover should not exceed 100 crores for any of the financial years since incorporation. Okay, and you should work towards innovation, development, or improvement of products or processes or services, or if it is a scalable business model with a high potential of employment generation or wealth creation also, you will be eligible for government benefits. And again, it is important to note that an entity formed by splitting up or reconstruction of an existing business shall not be considered a startup. So some guys, in fact, tried to split up their businesses or demerge their companies, and they thought that the demerged entities with small volume of turnover can be shown as startups, but government intelligently curtailed this practice and said that it should be an entity of 10 years old, but an entity which has took birth through splitting or demergers cannot be a startup. So an entity also such kind of entities will not be called a startup after that. Okay, and completion of 10 years from the date of its incorporation or registration, then you cannot be a startup. Or if your turnover crosses more than 100 crores, then you cannot be treated as a startup. So remember to avail 21 various government schemes under which they are giving huge benefits. If you want to avail them, you need to fit into the criteria given in these 7 points. Okay, and then benefits in brief. I am not giving you a big bunch of literature in terms of benefits for which you can go to that URL. However, in brief, I am presenting you the benefits that are provided by government. Okay. One, simple process. The government of India has launched a mobile app and a website for easy registration for startups. Anyone interested in setting up a startup can fill up simple form on the website and upload certain documents. The entire process is completely online. So today, the government, under the ease of doing business, specifically with reference to the small businesses, has made the entire process online. You want to register as a startup, you can do it through online, and the process is simple. Okay, and then reduction in cost. The government also provides list of facilitators of patents and trademarks. They will provide high quality intellectual property rights services, including fast examination of patents at lower fees. The government will bear all facilitator fees and the startup will bear only the statutory fees. They will enjoy 80% reduction in the cost of filing patents. Remember friends, if a startup wants to file patents, today the government is taking care of the costs of the professionals involved in the intellectual property rights services and making the promoters of the startups just to pay the statutory fees only, and they are also getting 80% reduction in the cost of filing patents. That kind of ease at which the costs have been reduced with reference to innovations in terms of IPRs. Even the IPR lawyers or the representatives, whoever work on the patents, they will all get their fees from government only. They don't need to take the fee from the entrepreneur. Okay, remember that. Okay. Easy access to funds. A 10,000 crore rupee fund is set up by government to provide funds to startups as venture capital. The government is also giving guarantee to the lenders to encourage banks and other financial institutions for providing venture capital. Friends, you and I, as professionals, have gone through the time wheel of India for the past, say, 10 to 15 years or more than that in some cases. We guys have found that getting venture capital for a startup is so damn difficult from any bank or any financial institution, and they take their own sweet time, and at the end of the day, whether the result is going to be positive or not, that's not sure for any professional of our standard to have confidence. And we all professionals work without any confidence because we don't know the outcomes. In such a scenario, the government identified this gap in India, and the government itself has started a startup easy access fund with a corpus of 10,000 crore, and all startups which meets the criteria as set up by the government can have the venture capital at ease without any problem. Okay. So now the capital is not a difficult thing, which it used to be with all of us. Okay. And now tax holiday for 3 years. Startups will be exempted from income tax for 3 years, provided they get a certification from the interministerial board. From IMB, if you need to get a certification, that's again online. And if you have that certificate as a startup, then you will be exempted from income tax for 3 years. So your tax planning can also be done with the certification from the interministerial board. And friends, again, in terms of tenders, while applying for tenders, startups can apply for government tenders. They were allowed to apply for government tenders. Earlier, there used to be qualification for tenders, but for startups, there is no qualification at all. You can start the business and you can go to, you can go for a tender. Okay. They are exempted from the prior experience turnover criteria. And in India, it used to be a very big headache to participate in the tenders because the terms used to be the prior experience and turnover. Whoever used to come out with these tenders, they used to customize the tenders to meet their journeys. But now it's not so. Even the startups can participate without prior experience or turnover criteria, which are all generally applicable for normal companies while answering to government tenders. Okay. Now, in terms of R&D facilities, 7 new research parks are being set up to provide facilities to startups in the R&D sector. You need not waste your time to what you call set up your R&D facility, whereas government itself is setting up the R&D hubs by investing its money in infrastructure. So what you can do is you can go to the government and give a presentation and tell them that you are in R&D, you want to set up your R&D facility under startup. Then they have these parks, seven research parks set up in different parts of our country. Whichever that suits your needs, you can go there, give a presentation, take your premises on rent, that too at affordable rent. That's very important. So this facility is also being facilitated by government today. Okay. And no time consuming compliances. Various compliances have been simplified for startups to save time and money. Startups shall be allowed to self-certify compliance through the startup mobile app with 9 labor and 3 environment laws. See friends, startup companies can self-certify the compliances with reference to 9 labor and 3 environment laws on their mobile. Okay, that is again a positive trend that we are finding nowadays. And then tax savings for investors. People investing their capital gains in the venture fund set up by the government for startups will get exemption from capital gains. This will help startups to attract more investors. So what government is doing is government is acting as a nodal agency or a channelizing agency to attract the investments for the startups by making investors invest in the venture fund under the supervision of the government, and in turn government is going and investing in those startups. So that's the structure, and whoever invests in such kind of venture funds, they will all be having the exemption from long-term capital gains tax too. Capital gains tax means short-term and capital long-term also here. So you have a blanket exemption from capital gains here. Okay, and then as a part of benefits, you can choose your investor. After the plan, the startups will have an option to choose between the VCs, giving them the liberty to choose their investors. Okay, and again, startups are provided with easy exits. In case of exit, a startup can close its business within 90 days from the date of application of winding up. Okay, and as startups, you can also meet other entrepreneurs. That is to say, the government has proposed to hold 2 startup festivals, fests, called as fests in short, abbreviated form. Uh, Government holds 2 startup fests annually, both nationally and internationally, to enable the various stakeholders of startups to meet. This will provide huge networking opportunities. Yes, you and I understand how it is important to network, particularly when you have a startup. That's where government itself is facilitating. It is inviting all the international players and national players, and it holds 2 startup fests annually and provides for huge networking opportunities. And startups are being highly encouraged by the government. The benefits enjoyed by them are immense, which is why more people are setting up startups in India. So, friends, that's about the kind of environment that the government has created for startups in India. Of course, the buzz is well justified because the government is also proactively supporting the startups. Okay, but now comes, friends, some of the key facts and statistics of startups in India. Okay, there is a great buzz about startups, but are they successful? Where are they coming up? What are they doing? Is what the kind of questions that come into our mind. So to answer that, I have presented you with the facts here. 90% of startup activity in India appears to be concentrated in the top 6 cities. Bangalore, the highest, with 28%, Delhi NCR with 24%, Mumbai with 15%, Hyderabad with 8%, Pune with 6%, and Chennai with 6%. This is where the whole startup activity is concentrated around. As the upcoming emerging startup locations, there are some upcoming startup emerging locations. They are Kolkata, Ahmedabad, Kochi, Jaipur, and Thiruvananthapuram. They are dominant as the emerging startup locations. Friends, to your surprise and my surprise, in Bengaluru, 62% of startup founders had prior technical experience, but 13% of the company's founders have zero professional experience. Okay, and US dollars 2.256 billion, that is to say 14,228 crores in venture capital investments were made in Bengaluru last year, that is to say 2022-23. That is to say Bengaluru has 62% of startup founders, and among the startup founders, 13% of the founders have zero professional experience. And again, in Bangalore alone, there were 14,228 crores investment in 1 year, that is to say last year 2022-23. That is a 4x increase in terms of funding. By virtue of this, Bangalore is currently Asia's 7th largest investment destination. So remember, friends, this is the landscape. This is how geographically the startup activity is spread across in India. Okay, and now we will go to types of startups and industry specifics. Okay, what are all the various kinds of startups and what are all the industry specifics? Let's look at it. There are different types of startups, such as tech startups, e-commerce startups, lifestyle startups, healthcare startups, and more. Each has its own set of challenges and opportunities. Here are some industry-specific startup statistics. Tech startups. Tech startups are one of the most popular types of startups. According to research from Straits, the digital transformation market size is expected to reach $2.1 trillion by 2033 with a CAGR of 23.72%. And then e-commerce startups. With lockdowns and social distancing measures in place during COVID time, more people have turned to online shopping for their needs, and that trend of online shopping is still continuing. As a result, e-commerce startups have seen a surge in demand and investment. In 2023, the global e-commerce market is projected to be worth 6.5 trillion, that is to say 2 times to the GDP of India, and e-commerce users will reach 2.1 billion by end of 2023. And then healthcare startups. Healthcare startups are gaining traction due to the increasing demand for innovative solutions in the healthcare industry. The healthcare service market worldwide experienced a compounded annual growth rate of 6.3%, increasing from 7,499 billion in 2022 to 7,975 billion in 2023. According to a new Global Market Insights Inc. report, telemedicine is projected to grow $240 billion by 2032, creating a significant opportunity for healthcare startups in this field. Today, through telemedicine, you don't need to go to doctors and stand in queue or sit in queue, wait for a long period for small remedies. Of course, for big remedies, you need expert solutions and suggestions and their prescriptions. But for small, say, cough, cold, little fever kind of things, you can as well have the advice coming from the telemedicines. That is the reason the telemedicine projects in startups are also growing substantially, and that market is considered to be huge. So here we break for a small gap of around 3 to 4 minutes for refreshing, and then we come for the second half of our presentation. So let's take a 3 to 5 minutes break, my friends, and let's reassemble at 6:05 or 6:4, between 6:04 to 6:05. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm back, friends. If you are ready, I'll just go ahead. Yeah, friends, having seen the types of startups and industry specifics, let's have some understanding on the leading top startups. I mean to say India's top startups as of 2023. Let's have some knowledge about that, okay? Because if you ask anybody what are the leading startups of India, they may not be completely aware. That's the reason, with a view to make you aware of these leading top startups in 2023, I have come out with some 20 startup profiles. One is Jepto. Jepto has a headcount of 1400 plus. Headquarters is Mumbai. It was founded in 2021. What do they do? Jepto is a quick commerce company delivering groceries and essentials across 10 cities in India. The Mumbai-based startup raised 200 million in August and became India's first unicorn of 2023. And then BlueSmart. BlueSmart has a headcount of 620. Gurugram is the headquarter. In 2018, it was founded and it offers electric ride hailing services in Delhi NCR and Bangalore with its 4,500 strong electric car fleet. Founded in 2019, the startup is planning to expand this fleet to 10,000 cars by the end of this year and invest more in setting up electric chargers across India. And then we have Ditto Insurance. Headcount is 2,250 plus. Headquarters Bangalore. 2018 is the year founded. This InsurTech startup helps people compare plans, understand policies, and buy insurance through its online platform. And then Pocket FM. It has 480 plus headcount. Bangalore is the headquarter. 2018 is the year in which it was founded, and it provides audio series platform Pocket FM offers audio entertainment across multiple genres and Indian languages through its 1 lakh plus hours strong content library. Founded in 2018, the company states they have 80 million listeners globally. Okay. And then you have Skyroot Aerospace. Headcount 260, headquarter Hyderabad. 2018 is the year in which it was founded. And this Hyderabad-based Skyroot Aerospace specializes in futuristic space launch vehicle design and building. With its maiden mission, Prarambh, the startup in 2022 became the first Indian private company to launch a rocket into space. So a lot of things happening around us. And then GoQuick. GoQuick offers data and technology-led solutions for e-commerce and D2C brands to improve customer experience across the shopping funnel and boost conversion rates and revenue growth. It has a headcount of 275 and it is headquartered in New Delhi and it was founded in 2020. And FI, full-time headcount is 400, headquarters Bangalore, founded in 2019. FI is a financial app with an inbuilt savings account that also offers mutual fund investment options and other financial services like personal loans in partnership with regulated entities. And then Sprinto, it has 150 employees, Bangalore headquartered, founded in 2019. Sprinto automates information security compliances and privacy laws for software as service companies and helps monitor entity level risks and control. And then we have Super Sourcing with a headcount of 120, headquartered at Indore, founded in 2020. Super Sourcing is a B2B AI-enabled platform for hiring remote engineers and providers pre-vetted developers to medium and small sized businesses, enterprises, and funded startups. And then we have Growth School with a headcount of 180, headquartered in Bangalore, founded in 2021. Growth School partners with instructors to create cohort-based courses on personal and professional growth topics like marketing, design, and business. Okay. Likewise, the list goes on. I have just taken 20 top companies. So with your permission, I will read the remaining companies' names also. JAR. JAR is an automated gold savings app that allows people to save spare change from their online transactions and invest in digital gold, as well as offers manual and daily, weekly, or monthly saving options. Launched in 2021, the app has currently more than 1.5 crore users. Friends, these are all not just startup companies. Look at the kind of services they are offering. Look at the landscape that is emerging. Look at the innovative ways this young breed is looking at in terms of raising monies, in terms of providing employment, in terms of developing their own places, basically. So that's really marvelous. That needs to be praised by us by looking at the list of these companies and by looking at what they do. Shift, again, if you look at the headcount is 70, Gurugram is the headquarter, founded in 2019. What do they do? Shift, formerly known as Mindhouse, is a wellness and life management and tracking platform that offers health, yoga, nutrition, and dermatology programs. And then we have Teach Nook with 130 plus people, Bangalore headquartered, 2021 was the year founded. E-learning platform, Teach Nook offers students curated programs to help them upskill in topics like Web3, augmented reality, virtual reality, business development, and performance marketing. And then we have Stock Grow, 60 plus people, Bangalore, year 2020. Stock Grow aims to educate young investors about trading and investment. It allows people to build their trading skills in a simulated environment, follow experts and top investors, and also provides investment recommendations and portfolio management solutions. And then we have Exponent Energy with 185 people, with Bangalore headquarters, founded in 2020. This startup is on a mission to simplify energy for electric vehicles and offers a 15-minute rapid charging solution for electric vehicles. And this is the slide. I mean to say in the list. In terms of the list, it is the last slide. That is in Hauser has a headcount of 100 with Gurugram headquartered, 2019 year founded, focused exclusively on millennials and working professionals. Hauser provides luxury co-living and accommodation solutions across 5 Indian cities and more than 75 properties. And Axio Job, headcount 190, Gurugram, 2018 year, run by IIT Delhi alumni, EdTech startup. Axio Job offers courses around full stack web development and data analytics. TravClan, 190 plus people, New Delhi, founded in 2019. TravClan is a B2B platform offering business solutions for travel companies, which include flight and hotel bookings, travel websites, payment gateways, and marketing material. And then DotPay, 450 headcount, Gurugram, 2019 was the year it was founded. DotPay offers business solutions for omni-channel selling, which includes point of sale, e-commerce website, QR, payments, and delivery. It provides a full stack food tech offering for food and beverage companies. And then Fussel, 170 headcount, Bangalore headquarter, 2018 it was founded. Fussel is a full stack platform for horticulture farming, which started with the mission of removing the guesswork from farming through its AI-driven platform. The company provides farmers farm-specific, crop-specific, and crop stage-specific actionable advisory, and helps them reduce the cost of cultivation and increase quality and yield. Friends, when you look at this landscape, when you look at the kind of startups in 2023, which are the top startups in 2023, means they have emerged in 2023 as the top startups. Look at the various kind of ideas that have come into a kind of a business proposition, which are not only providing employment, but also generating revenues, but also raising good quantum of funds, and thus engaging professionals like you and I. This is the space that we need to look at this point of time. And then, friends, there will be pessimists always. They say, okay, you say startups, but there are failures too in startups. Remember, friends, out of 100 business ideas, only 10 may fly and 90 may fail. Similar is the case with startups too. If you look at the startups lifespan, first year, friends, 20% of startups failed in India if you take the statistics for the past several years. Okay, it's like this. 20% of the startups fail during the first year, and 30% fail during the second year, and 50% fail during the fifth year, and 70% fail during the 10th year. That is to say, a startup cycle may be there for, say, a period of 10 years. After that, maybe one needs to look at a different proposition altogether. That means either competition is topping up, or the product or the service may not be as lucrative as it used to be. Whatever it may be, the life cycle of a startup is very limited and narrow. Within that only, you have to make your money. And then, friends, 9 out of 10 new businesses failed in India. Venture-backed firms fail 7 out of 10 times. Only 1% of startups go on to become household names like Uber, Airbnb, Slack, Stripe, and Docker. For the first time, entrepreneurs, the success rate is only 18%. This is according to the available statistics. Okay. And again, the startup successes versus failures, if you look at it, the Unicorn Club is home to 105 Indian businesses in total. In the upcoming year, the numbers are anticipated to increase dramatically. A startup business valued at more than $1 billion is referred to as unicorn. Name of these some unicorn startups in India. Hello? Name of some of the unicorn startups in India are BharatPay, Fractal, ExpressBees, Dream11. They have become unicorns, friends. And that is to say, they have become $1 billion valuation oriented companies within a short span of time. Okay. Startups that have failed also are there. They are PepperTap, Kionics, Frankly.me, Hotels Around You, Dazo, Dudwala. They have failed, my friends. And startups that have made a comeback after failure at the global level are Delta Airlines, Lego, Marvel and Marvel Studios, PBR Sales, Netflix. They were the startups which have made a tremendous comeback. Startup industries with most failures, if we look at, it may seem odd at first, but the information industry has the greatest failure rate. However, the information sector has low entry barrier and significant proportion of actual high risk companies, which may be pushing the average failure rates higher. Food and agtech, that is agri-tech, blockchain, analytics, big data, and AI, robotics, and advanced manufacturing are also failures. Unofficially, according to Business Insiders, 99% of robotic startups fail. It's a question mark, but that is an unofficial statistic. And why startups fail in India? Let's look at that. This is very interesting. 35% of startups fail because they spend time, money, and resources creating a good or service that no one wants or needs or that is already available. Even well-known titans occasionally make these mistakes. Friends, what tends to happen is we as individuals will be getting carried out with our own ideas, observations, whatever it may be. We don't do thorough research. That's the reason we go by herd mentality. If somebody has gone into a particular business and made some mark, we think that we can also make that mark without really doing a SWOT analysis of our own. That is the reason when you produce a good or service and then think of marketing it without doing proper research, then if your product remains untaken by anybody, then you will fail. Similarly, in India also, 35% of startups are failing because you are producing and then trying to push it into the market and market is not taking, you are failing. Okay. The simple fact that startups run out of money is one of the most frequent causes of failure. Friends, just now we discussed in our first part of presentation that venture capital was the most scarce thing in India in our era. But now the government is providing the required venture capital. Though government is providing venture capital, the unicorns and the big guys, whoever are able to attract greater valuations, they are getting monies. But let's think of the medium and small size guys. They are not getting still monies. So they get monies from angel investors and they will be behind them for returns. And in that cycle, they lose their focus and they lose their businesses. That is how even when you run out of money, you can't run your startup further. In India, one of the prime reasons for failing of startups is the entrepreneurs running out of the money, basically. This can be due to bad money management or inability to obtain finance or lack of income, whatever you may call. A terrible mistake is undervaluing or ignoring your rivals. However, 20% of companies blame their demise on being outperformed by their competitors. Your major competitors may be another startup with a superior offering or marketing plan or an existing business with a sizable and devoted customer base. A successful startup requires a solid and long-term business plan. Any business is doomed to failure without defined plan of operating procedures and revenue generation. Ultimately, friends, revenue generation is the most important thing. Now, as the whole landscape, if you look at it, the key highlights are startups in India by 2030 are expected to be 180K, means 1,80,000 startups are expected to be there in India by 2030. And active startup investors by 2030 are going to be 22,000. Okay. And combined valuation of Indian startups is massive, that is $500 billion. And total capital invested between 2014 and first half of 2013, if you look at, that is $141 billion. And from India, there were about 110 plus unicorns. And in India, there are 75 crores, that is to say 759 million active internet users. This is the whole landscape of startups. And this is very much, promising to look at. Okay. And now we get into CMAs and business startups. When it comes to the total number of startups in operation worldwide, India ranks first. Additionally, shows like Shark Tank India are inspiring Gen Z and millennials to either work for or create their own startups. In India, the startup ecosystem has experienced a boom that has sparked a revolution that has enabled numerous firms to become profitable unicorns. However, without a cadre of experts that provide significant growth support to startups, this revolution would not have been conceivable. They have consistently played a role in rising startups. These experts include lawyers, CMAs, CAs, CSS, and tech consultants. However, in this presentation, we are presenting the role of CMAs in business startups in India. CMA's contribution to India's startup revolution. To begin with, we must acknowledge that running a startup in India is not an easy task. Depending on their business, different businesses encounter varying complexity from the beginning to finish. A founder must always adhere to tax and legal compliance, even in the early stages of conceptualization. All these tasks are too much for a startup entrepreneur to manage alone. Hence, he needs a CMA. Okay. And again, why CMAs? Holistic business guidance by CMAs. CMA is a qualified guide to assess the entire startup plan from all encompassing perspectives. A CMA's experience and knowledge enable them to advise any startup at any point in its development process. If startups' core foundational elements such as identification, entity selection, tax structure, applicable regulations, etc., are all well considered, the entrepreneur can have a solid base. So, an overall and all-round experience and knowledge which a CMA possesses, which other financial accountants may not be possessing because they specialize only in accounting and taxation, etc., they may not be in a position to provide the kind of advice that a CMA can provide. In fact, that is how a CMA can position himself in the startup market for his services too. Founders should concentrate on startup vision, with CMAs being the guiding lights in order to assist startups owners in managing their non-business operations. CMAs offers a range of services, including bookkeeping, costing structures, management accountancy for decision making, tax compliance, data management, MAS, and other analytical and financial reports. Being a founder allows one to focus on the vision of the firm and its growth and the implementation of numerous other crucial tasks, while being least concerned with these operations are well taken care by CMAs. That is to say, we need to position the CMA profession as such that all startup entrepreneurs needs to consider a CMA because of his all-round experience and his ability in not only in bookkeeping and also in costing structures, management accountancy for decision making, tax compliance, data management, MAS, and other analytical and financial reports, whatnot. He can be like a right-hand person to the entrepreneur of a startup. That is where the CMAs should be treated with high esteem and should be given such kind of positions in startups by the entrepreneurs. And then tech-driven modern era CMAs. Friends, gone are the days where the type machine and things like that used to be predominant. But today, most of the CMAs are tech-driven. Okay, when it comes to service delivery, modern CMA firms have become more accurate and technological savvy. For firms that are becoming unicorns, a major combination of information on statutory and legal guidelines with robust tech platforms is beneficial, and that is possible through CMAs. Today, tech-savvy CMAs have hands-on knowledge in terms of operating on Excel sheets and also in structured query language, SQL methods, and using such skills, they can help the promoters in retrieving the kind of legal and technical information that they need for their decision making, and they can go hand in hand with the promoters. And again, CMA availability to small startups. Here, CMA address the issue of their services affordability. Not every business has the financial resources to reach out to highly qualified individuals. The CMAs of today are willing to help small and medium-sized entrepreneurs and can be good friends. Founders are prepared to improve their entrepreneurial experience and look for appropriate coaching. That is where a CMA's role also comes into picture. There are many ways that a CMA can help a startup. These are only a handful. CMAs want to help entrepreneurs since they are vital to the development of India's economy. As CMAs strive to do it right for startups, every business builds its foundation to the best of its ability and embraces its path with the proper people. CMAs can not only guide startups since its conceiving idea, incorporation, funding, approvals, license, day-to-day business affairs like compliances, valuations, licensing with various entities, valuations not only that of the firms but also of in terms of costing and staffers, venture capitalists, IPR practitioners, corporate strategies planning for businesses, but also detect and minimize frauds and scams, and to stay abreast with the corporate governance as a conscious keeper. So again, a CMA can play an all-round role with his hands-on knowledge in all these areas. So that's an advantage factor for the CMAs. And again, functions-wise, if we look at it, a CMA can do easily financial planning and analysis, cost management, budgeting and forecasting, risk assessment and management, internal controls and audits, financial reporting and analysis, performance measurement and evaluation. These are all the heads under which a CMA can function with any company, including startups. And competitive edge of CMAs versus others. Others means CAs, CS, and MBAs, whatever it is. What is the competitive edge of a CMA? If you want to pitch yourself with a startup, you can do it like this. You as a CMA have a holistic business perspective. CMA possesses a well-rounded understanding of business operations beyond finance. They have the expertise to analyze and assess the financial impact of various business decisions. They help startups make informed choices about resource allocation, investment strategies, and risk management. Not only that, CMAs will have management accounting as their focus. CMAs specialize in management accounting, which emphasizes the internal aspects of financial management. They are skilled in cost management, budgeting, performance, evaluation, and strategic planning. These are all the vital areas for startups for striving in terms of their financial success. And then CMAs can play a greater role in terms of strategic decision support. CMAs excel at providing data-driven insights to support strategic decision making. They can assess financial feasibility, evaluate potential revenue streams, analyze market trends, and help startups develop robust business plans that align with their long-term objectives. And then CMAs can be lean operations experts. Startups often operate in lean environments with limited resources. CMAs can help optimize these costs, identify inefficiencies, and implement cost-saving methods without compromising quality of growth potential. Their expertise in process improvement and resource optimization is invaluable for startups seeking profitability. And this is the last slide, my friends. Risk assessment and management. CMAs possess strong risk management skills, enabling them to identify potential financial risks and develop mitigation strategies. Startups face various uncertainties, and CMAs can help evaluate the financial implications of different business scenarios, assess risk levels, and implement appropriate risk management frameworks. And then comes performance measurement and analysis. CMAs are proficient in performance measurement techniques, allowing them to establish relevant metrics and evaluate a startup's financial performance effectively. They can develop key performance indicators, that is KPIs, prepare financial reports, and provide insights on profitability, liquidity, and overall financial health. And not just that, CMAs can also act as compliance officers and governance officers. CMAs adhere to professional codes of ethics and have a solid understanding of regulatory frameworks. They can assist startups in maintaining compliance with legal and financial reporting requirements, ensuring good governance practices which are followed at the outset. While other financial professionals can provide valuable insights and expertise, the CMA designation equips professionals with a specific skill set tailored to the needs of organizations, including the startups. The combination of financial expertise, strategic mindset, and management accounting focus makes CMAs uniquely positioned to assist startups in navigating the complexities of financial management and promoting sustainable growth of startups. So, thank you, friends. This is where we end our presentation. Thanks to your commitment and great interest to listen to this presentation. I look forward to working together. And right now, I look forward to your questions to answer them one by one. Those whoever have questions can unmute their mic and ask me whatever the question they have on today's topic. Yeah, now the floor is open for questions.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, for registering in Startup India, we need some idea, na unique idea which government recognize to give benefit.
Yeah.
Or not all cannot get the benefit of Startup India.
See, as I have, if you are following my presentation, I have given you the various steps involved in a startup. Okay, when you start up, definitely you should have a business concept, and then you should go for a business design concept. Okay, business designing, and it means business planning. Okay, so when you go with a concept, that concept, whatever you catch up or you adopt, that concept should be innovative in nature. Okay, should be innovative in nature, should be providing good employment to many number of people. Okay, and should be useful for public at large. If you catch up with any one of those criteria, you will get definitely the government recognition. Yeah, for any kind of benefits that the government provides, you will be eligible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Last year I start given the service to 7 or 8 clients, forming
Okay.
2 companies formation and 6 LLPs. So they are
Okay.
normal business criteria. So that is not innovative. So thank you, sir.
Oh, okay, yeah. It should be innovative. See, normal, if you say that's where the government made a restriction. You see what it said. If suppose if we allow for normal companies, then each established company also will split a small portion of its company or demerge a small portion of its company and call itself as a startup and then apply for all the benefits from the government. That is the reason government said existing business models, regular routine run the mill kind of business models will not be eligible for any kind of benefits, but innovative ideas, innovative concepts, definitely, yes. That's where in your business idea, in your business plan, you need to show what is your innovation. Innovation means what is that new thing that you are bringing, which will help the public at large, which will create a vast amount of employment in the country, which will create capital accumulation going forward and which will help people at large. These are the criteria which you need to meet. If you meet, if it's a new idea which is not already there in existence, then definitely you will qualify for the support of government and recognition. Yeah. A lot of guys are writing that it's a good presentation, excellent presentation, and things like that. Somebody wrote that please share PPT. Yes, I will give it to the admin of WIRC. You can collect it from them. Any other questions, please? I'll keep the floor open for 2 minutes, next 2 minutes. If nobody takes initiative to ask a question, then we will call it a day. Because I tried to cover as exhaustively as possible with all the information and tried to give the best to you guys in terms of presentation. A lot of efforts have gone in to give you the required knowledge in the startup space and also the role you can play by projecting yourself as a CMA with the startup promoters, because we have an edge when compared to a CA who does just financial accounting. A CMA has the management accountancy edge. That management accountancy edge you need to utilize while pitching for top positions at par with the promoters in the startup companies, and you can bargain big sums as your remuneration, because today startups are attracting huge capital from the investors. Okay. And startups are becoming the destinations for the youth for employment, and they are the real employment generators at this point of time. Okay, not the government. Of course, government is supporting and creating a conducive environment to reduce the unemployment by encouraging the startups. So startups have become the employment generating points. So anybody, whoever is looking for employment in today's era, they should not look for established companies because their models are established, their manpower is restricted, I mean to say limited, and they can't recruit more. And who can recruit more? The guys who are experimenting with the new ideas, with the capital availability, and with the encouragement that the government is giving. They are the guys who can come forward and work on new ideas. That is where I feel every professional should utilize this opportunity to work at least for a while with the startup promoters to gain that experience and to gain that, I mean to say, pleasure of doing and creating something on our own along with the promoters. So with those good words, let's call it a day. Admin, there are no questions coming up. So we'll call it a day. WIRC admin, please.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am, shall we call it a day? Because there are no
Yeah,
questions.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
you
you.
very much. Yeah.
थैंक यू सर. चलो अभी देखो 35 लोग हैं, अभी इनको 15-20 मिनट लगेंगे निकलने में.
सब वो होंगे ना आजकल.